Hi everyone, Dr. Emmy from Pain Free and Fit and Posture Size. Today we've got part one of the most dangerous exercises for spondylolisthesis to avoid. We're going to talk about torso extension and what you can do to avoid aggravating your spondylolisthesis pains during your workouts. Hope you enjoy. So the two main categories of dangerous exercises for spondylolisthesis of the lower back that we have to stay away from are torso extension, where the upper body, rib cage, leans backwards. That compresses the posterior back portion of the spine, aggravating spondylolisthesis pain because spondylolisthesis is usually aggravated with extension more than flexion. And pelvic alignment problems such as anterior pelvic tilting. We're going to talk about pelvic alignments in part two of this most dangerous exercises for spondylolisthesis series. So to begin today, realize that the best way to protect your spondylolisthesis during workouts or everyday movements is by learning how to stabilize your lower back. We've talked about the neutral spine position that's unique for every individual on previous videos. If you haven't yet done so, go to either the Posture Size or the painfreeandfit.com website, take our free body analysis, learn what your unique muscle imbalances are, what your alignment and posture and movement tendencies are, so you can check those and correct those and put your spine into a neutral position before you do any type of exercise. So with that being said, once you learn your neutral spine for your unique self, we're going to avoid three basic torso extension problems with our workouts. The first is torso extension during prone exercises. When we have our upper body horizontal to the floor, whether we're doing a bent over row or a assisted three-point row, our body is in a horizontal position. In a horizontal position, gravity wants to allow our lower abdomen to sink down and it wants our lower back to arch. Arching the lower back creates extension and aggravates spondylolisthesis pain. So even if you've set yourself up with the proper stabilization, let's say you have a little tailbone under, tail tension up to engage those lower erector spinae fibers that we've talked about in previous videos to protect your spondylolisthesis from moving more forward. Even if you have those engaged, gravity wants that to bend down. So you got to keep the main abdominal focus of a little tail under and especially the rib cage crunching downwards towards the pubic bone to prevent that arch from happening. Whether I'm performing a bent over row, whether I'm performing bent over reverse flies, whether I'm doing prone bench reverse flies, whether I'm doing rotator cuff exercises here, whether I'm doing straight arm lifts, whatever I'm doing in this position, I could even be doing a bird dog in this position. When my body is horizontal, that arch in the lower back wants to occur and my torso wants to lift up. The heavier the weight gets, the more that I want to put momentum into lifting those last few reps. Most people are going to lift the chest and elevate that torso, extend the torso back. That's going to hurt spondylolisthesis pain many times by causing extension. So no matter what exercise I'm doing when my body is face down, I need to keep the rib cage, the bottom front of the rib cage, crunching down with abdominal tension towards the pubic bone. That will check the lower back to prevent that torso from lifting up and irritating spondylolisthesis pain while exercising. Second part I want to watch out for is with overhead pressing. Whether I'm in a seated position at the gym using a shoulder press machine, whether I'm doing militaries, behind the neck presses, dumbbell presses, anytime I'm pressing up, as the shoulder muscles start to weaken towards the end of the set or as the weight gets heavier, the natural tendency to complete the repetition is to lean the torso backwards again in extension. The reason people want to do that is because they can use more of their chest, which is a larger, more powerful muscle than the shoulders. And as the shoulders get fatigued from that vertical stance, most people want to lean back to complete the lift. When they lean back to recruit their pecs, they're also causing that extension or that overarching of the lower back. Extension in the lower back helps to drive that spondylolisthesis vertebra forward. It compresses the facet joints, the back portion of the disc, aggravating our pain. So as we're shoulder pressing, it's very important to, again, keep that crunching down. Not so much where you're changing your neutral spine. Remember, once you've set the proper position of tail up, tail under, any type of lateral tilting that you need for your unique position to keep yourself in neutral position, any amount of rotation, recruiting the right muscles, that's set. You're not moving that. But what you are preventing is from losing that, keeping the rib cage tensing downwards so it prevents itself from leaning backwards. That's a lot of abdominal tension to do that. And again, as you're pressing, that's going to be much more likely to do when the bar is in front of you. When the bar is behind you on a behind the neck press, your tendency is to lean forward slightly to go up. But any type of front pressing, that's especially where you have to watch out for this dangerous movement of torso extension. Thirdly, torso extension happens most commonly when we do some type of squatting motion. Many people, when they first learn to squat, whether it's in high school, with a coach, with a personal trainer with limited experience, are taught to keep their eyes looking up. The reason for this is that many people without their eyes up, once they start to squat, they're going to fall forward. By keeping the eyes up, it maintains extension in the neck and the lower back, which extend at the same time during the squat, and it helps to keep a stable spine. Unfortunately, if you have spondylolisthesis, though, by looking up, many times what that's going to do, it's going to keep, as the hips come down, it's going to keep the torso relative to the pelvis in extension, and that's going to aggravate spondylolisthesis pain. Many people with spondylolisthesis after a session of squatting, why is my back hurting? A couple of reasons. One, being in the most common, is the torso, if you're looking upwards, is going to stay in extension relative to the pelvis. As the pelvis drops back, the torso is going to stay in its neutral extended position. That's going to increase the arch or the aggravation in the lower back of spondylolisthesis pain. So what we need to do is we need to keep the eyes and the chest always in the same direction, pointing in the same direction. So if you notice during my squatting motion here, as I drop my hips back, my eyes and chest are going to follow an arc from straight ahead to straight forward. That keeps my spine in that neutral position that I put it in at the beginning of the squat, allowing all the motion to come from my knees and hip joint, and my upper body from my head through my tailbone is simply going for a ride on the pelvis, not changing that position of the torso and the pelvis next to each other. As the eyes move in that arc on the way down, they're going to reverse the same motion as the buttock squeeze to come up. That's going to help to prevent that torso from lifting up with eyes up, overarching and aggravating spondylolisthesis pain. Keeping these three exercises, squatting in mind, horizontal prone exercises, and overhead presses in the gym, in your workouts at home or with a trainer, it's going to go a long way to helping prevent your lower back spondylolisthesis pain. If you like this video and would like to learn more on spondylolisthesis, how to work out, how to avoid dangerous exercise mistakes, feel free to subscribe to our channel. We got a lot of great videos out there. If you'd like to help me share this valuable information with others, give me a thumbs up below. Let's get the word out for more people suffering with spondylolisthesis to help them avoid aggravating their pain. And if you're looking for a great program to analyze your biomechanics, your spinal stability issues, your posture, your movement as it pertains to spondylolisthesis, check out our Fast Track Spondylolisthesis program at the painfreeandfit.com website. It's got all the analysis, self-corrective exercises, stretches, how to get working out, how to design a program and find your neutral spine to help protect you and stay active with your lower back pain and Pain-Free and Fit. I hope this exercise video on dangerous mistakes with spondylolisthesis pain helps you with your chronic spondylolisthesis exercise-induced lower back pain.